as they say out west, welcome, partner, to episode 7 of Pipe Smoking with Colonel Calabash. Let's start the program this week with recognizing the Facebook Pipe Group of the Week. This week we salute The Study. No, it doesn't say anything about pipe smoking or tobacco in the title, but that's just the name of it, The Study. It's in some ways a unique pipe site. Now, they have the usual posts showing members with their pipes and different tobaccos, but often the photos that you will see will be of old ornate libraries or churches. There's some beautiful photos in there, and I enjoy those photos immensely. These are the kind of architecture and old structures that you rarely see anymore. At the same time, they do have wonderful discussions of pipes and different tobaccos. So if you are not a member of the study, I highly suggest you join. Now on with the business at hand. I have previously said I did not want to get into a political discussion on this podcast. But there has been some things going on for the last few years that require pipe smokers to be in the know. And what I'm referring to, of course, is the relatively new pipe smoking laws. For several years, FDA left the cigar and pipe tobacco interest alone and did not include them in their regulations. I was around when the first smoking regulations were formed. I personally don't think it had to do with health issues. It was just some people didn't like the smell of smoke, and they complained until FDA regulated it. FDA wants you to believe that they do studies on these things, and if they decide they should regulate them or not. Basically, if they say it needs regulations, they do it. FDA all of a sudden decides it needs to regulate cigars, pipes, and tobacco. No public vote, they just do it. The part I will talk about is pipes and pipe tobacco. First, let's take a look at the title of the entire regulation, and it will tell you a lot. In 2009, Congress passed the Family Smoking Prevention and Tobacco Control Act of 2009. Now, that title in itself tells you what this is all about. It's to prevent smoking and control it. It's right there in the title. This act regulated at first cigarettes, roll your own, and smokeless tobacco. No cigar or pipe regulation. The problem is it also gives them the authority to deem, as they see fit, new products to be brought into the regulations. So in their warped wisdom, they decided to bring in pipes and tobacco. The all-wise FDA definition of tobacco, however, included pipe tobacco, pipes, and the parts of those pipes. Yes, a pipe and its parts are considered to be tobacco by FDA. Okay, now where are we at with these regulations? First of all, U.S. pipe and tobacco manufacturers had to register with the FDA. The importers of pipe tobacco, or at least the company who makes the imported tobacco, did not have to register. The registration required business information, a product list, and advertising samples for each product they manufactured. Any new product not on the market as of February 15th of 2017 had to be submitted for a pre-market tobacco application. Now, this process was very expensive. The only way around this was to sell only pipes and tobacco that were on sale before the date. Those were grandfathered in. Now, exactly what does this mean to us? Well, first of all, a seller of pipe tobacco or pipes needs to check a photo ID of everyone under 27 who attempts to purchase pipe tobacco. You can only sell pipe tobacco to customers age 18 and older. Now, here's one that they've kind of outlawed, and personally, I've never heard of this. Maybe some of you have. Do not sell pipe tobacco in vending machines unless in an adult-only facility. I've never bought pipe tobacco out of a vending machine, but I guess it could happen. Now, here's the one that hurt a lot of brick and mortar stores. As a pipe smoker, you used to go into your local brick and mortar pipe store, and if they had some tobacco in there you'd never tried before, the attendant there would say, well, hey, try a bowl full of it. Basically, they gave you a sample. Under new FDA regulations, you cannot give out samples of pipe tobacco for free. You also cannot give out any components of that pipe tobacco for free. Now, they have to charge you. So if you go into the brick and mortar store and they charge you whatever for a little sample, it's really not them, it's the good old FDA. Beginning August the 10th of 2018, you cannot sell or distribute pipe tobacco without a health warning statement displayed on the package. Now, this has been going on for some time. You've had to have a warning label on it. Now, the size of that warning label has been increased. Personally, I could care less if they put a warning label on there, and I realize most of y'all could not. I don't even read the warning label. I know it's on there, but it's of no consequence to me. As you can see, FDA is really after one thing, and that is slowly outlawing tobacco use. I seriously doubt that they had one pipe or cigar smoker in the group that came up with all this garbage they have placed in effect. They certainly did not have anyone with enough brains to realize a pipe is not tobacco as they refer to it. FDA, like many good federal programs, started out as good, and now it's turned into a group full of dictators that want to tell you everything to do. Now, it's a funny thing. They don't mind putting poison into your drinking water, supposedly to prevent cavities and kill germs, but they're very, very concerned that your pipe smoking is bad for you. What can we expect from these things? Well, it's actually very simple. We're going to see tobacco manufacturers that instead of paying the high cost, they will just go out of the business altogether. In fact, we've seen some already. Pipes, a lot of pipe manufacturers may drop by the wayside. And one of the big problems of these laws, it did not exempt the artisan pipe maker who only makes one or two of a kind pipes that sell reasonably expensive. We're going to see a rise in the cost of our pipe tobacco because the manufacturers have to pay extra to come out with new tobaccos and in some cases, some of the old tobaccos that they've had since 2017. So we're going to see a rise in price on pipe tobacco. The other things that we'll see is brick and mortar and online pipe tobacco vendors, if they mix two different types of tobacco, at least two, they are considered a manufacturer, and they just can't do that anymore. They're going to have to pay the exorbitant fees to be considered a manufacturer. I talked to one of the online sales groups today, and I point blank asked them, can you mix pipe tobacco? The answer was no. They could not do that because FDA says that's manufacturing tobacco, even though it isn't. I did find out, however, that they can repackage, like if they get in a big bag of bulk tobacco, they can repackage that into smaller packs as long as those smaller packs have the warning label on the new container. So as you can see, we managed to float along for a few years free of FDA regulations, and then I guess FDA didn't have enough to do, so they brought the cigar and pipe industry into their regulatory authority. And to be honest, one of the things that probably caused this was the e-cigarettes that are coming out, because they brought those in there too. So this is where we stand right now on what we can expect from the regulations that FDA has so wisely appropriated for us. We'll lose some tobacco blenders, we'll lose some pipe makers, various things like that, and we'll pay a higher price for pipe smoking. Don't forget, go join the study. I think you'll like it there, and you'll see some beautiful pictures. And until next week, happy pipe smoking.